Hello. Today's video has been a bit late coming. I just kind of got distracted with other stuff and got kind of lazy and then just totally forgot that I should make it. But today's video should be a bit of an interesting one. I've got a lot of little random things. Almost bit my tongue there. I've got a lot of little random things to talk about today, but they should all be interesting. For the geeks in the audience today, I'm filming this with my RCA CC413 VHS camcorder from 1994. I'm not kidding. I figured these face cam videos make a good opportunity to use my really old camcorders because it's just me and my face talking to the camera, and I'm not showing anything that requires a lot of detail or quality or anything like that. And I'm providing the sound with my audio recorder because my voice, my talking is important to the video, so I still want good quality for that. But I figure it's a good way for my vintage camcorders to get some exercise. Anyway, starting right off, on July 20 something, actually it was early August, on August 2nd, I saw the endocrinologist to see what my 8-month blood work results were, how my hormone levels are, and this time was pretty significant. For the first time ever, both my testosterone and my estrogen are where they should be. Both of them are good. This is the first time ever. It's always been one good but not the other, but this time they're both good. My hormone levels have stabilized, which is awesome. So no changes were made to my HRT dose. I'm on 175 milligrams per day of spironolactone and 4 milligrams per day of estradiol. So that's great. I have blood work again on September 1st, and I'll see the endocrinologist on September 11th. So then we'll see what my 9-month results are like. The endocrinologist says he likes to see 3 stable blood work results in a row, and then after that I won't have to get monthly blood work anymore. It'll go down to I think 3 months and then 6 months, and then if things are still good after that, it'll just be a yearly thing, which is pretty great. So that's my 8-month HRT blood work results, which is awesome. I'm looking down because I got my phone here. I've got I've noticed it's actually pretty awesome. I've noticed some little changes that HRT is still bringing about lately, which is really nice and exciting to see, because I'm sort of at the point now where the major changes have for the most part completed. But as I said before, with mention to that chart that a friend of mine sent me, the changes will continue for as long as 5 years. But the bulk of them, it's a logarithmic scale, right? They taper down over time, and while they never really stop because the human body is always growing and changing, there's a point at which noticeable changes are complete and you don't notice anything anymore. And I think I'm getting to that point where the bulk of the noticeable changes are completing. So it's kind of just a small letdown, because it's always been exciting to see what changes, but at the same time it's good to see that things are starting to stabilize and level out. But with that said, I've seen some little changes happening recently, which I haven't really seen before, or I haven't noticed before rather, probably because they happened really slowly, and it just took a long time until I looked at myself one day and said, hey, that's changed, or that's changed. So I've got a small list of them here. First of all, I've always been worried about the fact that I have hair on my shoulders and on my back. Just thin hair, not thick, and the hair is quite fine, but it was there nonetheless, and it was clearly visible and everything, and that always kind of worried me because I can sort of shave my shoulders with difficulty, but I can't get to my back, and it's like, well, what am I going to do? Because I don't exactly have anyone here that would shave my back for me. Well, the other day I turned around and looked at the mirror, and I've discovered that that hair has just disappeared. I don't know if it's all gone, but a lot of it is just gone. It's vanished. I don't have hardly any hair on my shoulders anymore, and I have very little that I could see on my back, which is just totally cool. That's so awesome. Also, I used to have really fine hair on my upper chest here, and that's pretty much gone. You know, I remember having to shave that like every couple of weeks, but I don't touch that area anymore. The hair's just gone, which is really awesome. Now, unfortunately, the really thick, coarse hair that's like in this area, that's still there, and that might always be there, which stinks. But it's nice to see that the stuff, you know, in the hard to reach places, the thin stuff, it's actually disappearing, which is really cool to see. Something else I've noticed, well, actually, first of all, this isn't really part of the list, but recently my breasts have started growing again, which is really cool because they've been mostly dormant all summer. But about a week ago, I noticed they were really sore, and they're not. That soreness is mostly gone now, so the growth spurt only lasted a few days, but it was there nonetheless, and that was really cool to see that my breasts are still growing in fits and spurts. But, you know, I like, you know, I'm starting to like how big they've gotten, because I can still see them. You can, they're very visible, but, see if I can zoom out here. They're visible. I'm not wearing a bra. I always had to wear a bra for my breasts to be this visible, but I don't anymore. As a matter of fact, when I do most of my photo shoots for Instagram and when I do these videos now, I just don't wear a bra, which, you know, it's great. I mean, depending on what I wear, I should have a bra so that my nipples aren't visible, but something like this, which has sort of thickish fabric, you don't see the nipples and it looks just fine, I think. So yeah, it's really cool to see. It's nice to see that my breasts are still growing and have grown to a degree that they're now visible even without a bra, which is just totally awesome. Speaking of this shirt, this is one of 4 new pieces of clothing that I got. I had another shopping spree on Old Navy. This is another tea dress like my orange one. This one's black with white stripes. I also got one that's pink with navy blue stripes, which I think is really cool. And there was only just those 2 tea dresses. But then I got a 3/4 sleeve dress that's blue with black stripes, and I really like that one. So yeah, I'm pretty much, I'm not worried about clothes anymore. I think I've done my clothes shopping for now. I now own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different dresses that I bought new, and the 2 or 3 different outfits that I have available to me that I can piece together with the stuff that my friend Katie gave me. So I'm all set now for like when school starts. I'm all set to have, you know, if I want to, I certainly don't have to, but if I want to, I'm all set for a week's worth of totally all female clothing, which is just really awesome. What else? I'm still practicing makeup. I'm wearing it right now. My mother informed me that in a picture that she saw of me wearing makeup, she said it was kind of on the thin side. And, you know, when I looked at myself in person with that makeup on later, I was like, yeah, it's kind of thin, because I didn't really look that much different than I did with no makeup at all. And it might have been only that one time, because certainly I'm not going to be very consistent yet in my makeup application. But I said, well, for this video, which I'm filming right now, I'll put some makeup on and I'll go kind of liberal with it. I decided to go kind of thick with it, and I like how it looks with, you know, the bit of heavier makeup. Certainly, you know, everyone's got their own opinion. I think my mother would probably say that it might be a bit too thick for her liking, but I think I like how it looks, and no eye makeup this time. I know what my limits are, so no eyeshadow, no bad eyeshadow, but I am wearing mascara. So yeah, I like how I look. I've got a monitor going here so I can see myself. That's why I'm looking over here. But yeah, I think it turned out good. So I'm getting the makeup down. I'm doing all right with the makeup. I think when school starts in 3 weeks, I'll be able to look awesome for school. So that makes me really, really happy. I'm starting to get a bit nervous. I think it's probably gonna be in 2 weeks that I will come out at work. I plan on doing it during my last meeting with the people that I work with, that I have regular meetings with. My last one, if everything goes on schedule, is going to be August 31st, and I think that'll be my coming out day. I'm going to use that meeting. And you know, there's no fear at this point of me like losing my job or rocking the boat or anything, because I'm going to be out of there the next day on September 1st, so good timing there. But I'm still going to be really nervous, just, you know, wondering what their reactions are going to be like. But yeah, I think that's going to be my coming out day at work, August 31st. And once I'm out of work, that's it for boy mode. I'm going to go full time. That'll be the end of the old me forever. Once I'm out of work, so at least that's the plan. Hopefully I stick to it, but I'm pretty excited. You know, I didn't know, you know, a few months ago, how long is it going to be before I'm full-time? Is it going to be a year and a half, 2 years? I didn't know what I was going to do, because I don't have a lot of confidence in my ability to move forward and do stuff without chickening out. But I think the plan, hopefully I stick to it, is going to be full-time once I'm out of work. That'll be the last job I ever do as a man. For better, for worse, all subsequent job interviews and stuff like that, I'm going to be in my female form. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't result in too much turmoil in my life. But yeah, I'm pretty excited at the fact that basically I could possibly officially go full-time in 3 weeks, which is pretty darn sweet. What else? Back to the little changes that I've been noticing. One sort of neat one I've been noticing is that I smell different now. I noticed, you know, not long after I started HRT, I didn't have body odor anymore. I didn't have to wear deodorant under my armpits, whatever. No smell, which was kind of cool. But something I've noticed since then is that I just smell different. As a whole, I don't smell like I used to smell, which is fascinating. One more difference, and then I go on to the next topic for this video. I've noticed, in fact, I started noticing this early in the summer. I now process romantic attraction, or sexual attraction, if you will, in a different manner. You know, when I was running on testosterone, I, like probably most men, you know, the whole focus was on sex. You know, I wanted to have sex, and that was pretty much it. You know, I could have normal, you know, emotional attraction to someone, but there was a really big element of sex in my mind, and I'm sure most men probably work this way. But I've noticed that running on estrogen now, I have different feelings and urges when it comes to romantic attraction. I find that I have an overwhelming desire, almost a craving for affection now. Hugging and kissing, and being held and squeezed and told that I'm loved and told that I'm beautiful, stuff like that. I have a really intense craving for that now, which I didn't have as much when I was running on testosterone. I think that's very fascinating. I think it's cute. And I think it's just really cool. And I kind of prefer it that way. I kind of prefer having, wanting that sort of emotional connection, or affection-based connection rather than just a pure sex-based connection. I think it's really cool. I think it's great. So those are all sort of the changes that I've noticed in recent weeks. The last thing I'm going to talk about is Pride. This last weekend, the city here had its annual Pride Festival. My first one that I went to was last year. I went again this year, and what was really awesome this year is that Mum came up and celebrated Pride with me, which I thought was just so wonderful. And yeah, it was great. I wore my blue and black 3/4 sleeve dress, and I had makeup on, although evidently not heavy enough makeup. That was the point. That was the day when Mum said my makeup was a bit light. It kind of stunk because Mum and I got in a taxi to go downtown where the parade and stuff was being held, and when I gave the taxi driver his money, he said, "Thank you, sir." And I was like, oh God, really? I'm in a dress, I'm in makeup. Although to be fair, he probably didn't look much at me. I was sitting in the back seat behind him, and he probably just heard my voice, and that was the end of it. As always, my voice is gonna be the biggest challenge to overcome. But other than that little hiccup, it went great. Another girl came up to me and said that she really liked my dress, which was just super nice. And I saw two friends of mine, and it was great to see them. That was the first time both of them had seen me as a female, and they just treated me like they always do, nothing any different. And yeah, we had a great time. The Pride Festival was wonderful. Way bigger and more exciting than last year. Every year it gets bigger because this city has just such a huge LGBT population and an incredibly accepting population as a whole. This is a really progressive city, probably due to the fact that this city has 2 major universities and 3 or 4 community colleges, so there's a huge student population, so a lot of young people. But regardless of the demographics, the city is just great for that. And so the Pride Festival this weekend, it was huge and it was wonderful, and it was such a happy and colorful occasion. Mom and I really enjoyed it a lot. Her first Pride, and she loved it, and I loved it, and I loved her being there. So really happy times all around. And actually, I'm going to show you here. I bought something at Pride. I'm gonna have to move the tripod here. I'll see if I can. Mom and I both wanted to buy a flag, but we couldn't find any. But we did find these handkerchief bandana type things that were $5 a piece. So we each bought one, and I have one hanging on my wall here, which I think is just really, really great. It livens up the room here. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I think I talked about everything I want to talk to. We talked about all the little changes I've noticed over the summer that HRT has brought about. I talked about Pride, and there were 1 or 2 other things, but I forget already. So, but yeah, we covered everything I wanted to, and that's it. The next video probably, or the next HRT update I should say, probably won't be until mid-September. I'll probably wait until after I see the endocrinologist next, which is on September 11th. But there still are a couple of vlogs that I want to do. One of them being just showing how I do my makeup, and the other one being talking about my name and the potential of changing my name and also changing my internet brand. Yeah, so look for those 2 videos. I'd like to get them done before the summer's out, but we'll see how it goes. But for now, thank you so much for watching as always and for your continued support. My Instagram, my Twitter, follow any of those if you want to. I'm quite active on Instagram. Everything related to my gender transition gets thrown up on Instagram before I make these videos, just because it's quicker and lazier to do. So check those out for sure if you want to. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.